All right, guys, welcome to the Mark for Life Wrestling Podcast.
What's up?
My name is Jeff Bailey.
I'm Jerry Jones.
And we're just going to rap about wrestling for a little bit, guys.
Yeah.
Talk about the state of the world and, what comments, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
We're seeing this post-Survivor Series world of fans attacking wrestlers and
yeah. Yeah.
What is going on?
We're fans attacking wrestlers. We've got, wrestlers are being released from their contracts in droves.
Days before a holiday.
AEW is coming off all of the aftermath of Full Gear and, Dynamite and Rampage. Like, it's a really, also two of their biggest stars are now on the sideline for extended periods of time.
Yeah. And you're seeing that you had all the belt versus belt love and and WWE, and I think you got a couple good matches out of it.
Yeah.
But again, why do these people? There's no story. There's no nothing. Where's the story at?
Right.
I'm badass. You badass.
Yeah.
That's it. I turned on Raw and Becky was on gloating and it was boring and I turned it off.
So I didn't see much. I did see a little bit of the Big E match.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole
these guys are great workers.
But
I'm not dispelling that.
All right. Well, I mean, we do have to talk about something here, and the elephant in the room was Survivor Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they spent the entire show promoting The Rock. 23 years ago, The Rock did this, and The Rock was here, and
never showed up.
Never showed up. And as far as I understand, is that he wasn't actually
never
booked. The Rock did a beautiful tribute to Ken Shamrock when he was being inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame just last year. The Rock cut like a 2-minute video talking about how Ken Shamrock really helped shape him as a pro and really put him over. And taught him. And he was one of the guys that really showed me how to be a pro. They couldn't get The Rock to even do that.
To show up and tape a promo or
anything. But then they had this.
He's clearly busy. He's also promoting a brand new movie and all this stuff. Like I said, he lives in a different world,
but they had this stupid thing.
Part of it that's money.
They had this stupid thing with the whole thing, the Rock's movie with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot and the Cleopatra's egg and this whole stupid storyline and how it got stolen at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And
oh god.
And Vince is on last night. I don't know if you caught this, but he basically threatening to fire people if he doesn't get the egg back. And I'm like, Vince, you can't be that socially tone deaf, can you?
Yes.
Can you?
He is so very socially tone deaf. I don't know. It's like I said, man, it's the whole WWE world is just weird. And it's like I said, it's non-acknowledgement of what it is just at the heart of that.
Yeah,
they don't acknowledge what it is,
right?
And and it's like,
and
their fan base. They think it's. I think a good percentage of their fan base. It might still think it's real.
Well, yes, I think they think it's real. I also think that they take everything that any person who's a fan of AEW or an employee of AEW, especially Tony Khan. Tony Khan is like for WWE fans, he's like the AOC for WWE fans. that he is so
I
to
don't think
them.
that's even a very good. That's not. I don't know. AOC really.
Well, I mean, think about the conservative right and how they view AOC.
Weird deja vu right now for some
Yeah,
reason.
right. Well, I mean, I think AOC has a way of doing that. I think for them, Tony Khan is kind of like that lightning rod person. He can't post anything without WWE Stan coming after him.
Of course.
And if you are a fan of AEW, it's like anything you post is, I don't know. It's just I don't know. But the word on the street is that Vince has been trying to position the company to sell, which he's kind of following the model of a corporation that wants to make itself attractive. You lighten your workforce,
Lighten the workforce.
yeah. Yeah, you make it as lean as possible, because any buyer, they don't want to accept any overhead that's not necessary or deemed necessary.
Fairly mid contract with most of the media, I believe.
Yep. So if you're selling
multi-year deals are in place.
Yeah, if you're trying to
Fox
sell, this is the time. Yeah,
I mean, he's old.
Yeah,
I mean, he is old.
He is old.
He's getting near 80 years of age.
How much do you feel? I mean, do you feel it would have mattered if Paul didn't have? They're not calling it a heart attack, but the heart issue that Triple H had. I mean, do you feel like if I don't know. It seems to me that
I still feel like it's a massive company. I mean, you don't necessarily. I mean, the loss of one person will not kill it. I mean, clearly.
Well, I mean, I'm wondering, would he feel like if he felt that he was in good enough condition to run the company, would Vince be trying to sell it?
I don't know. That's a broad. I don't know. That's a real what ifer.
Well,
if there is one, I mean,
I believe that
I trust Triple H to run the company better than Vince, period.
Well, I think that's the reason why he's selling it. I feel like Vince, I think the reason why he's been poo-pooing NXT and he doesn't
worried about his legacy.
100%.
Legacy over more money and more fans of wrestling.
I mean, imagine the ego, right? Here's a guy that I developed, that I put over, that I turned into this massive star. And now he has the audacity to think that he can run this company better than me. I think he'd rather sell it than have any of his kids or his in-laws have it. Total ego. Yeah.
I mean, everybody stands on the shoulders of somebody else at some point in time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he stood on his father's to take over, and become the aggressor in his own business, and look at where it is now. I mean, literally had a monopoly on main on main stage or main popular mainstay professional wrestling. You have their own personal stamp on it for many years. I mean, they were building like WWE offices in Tokyo, and Shanghai, and like it was like W, like they were gonna really take over the world.
Yeah,
and then clearly that never happened. But it's just like that acknowledgement of you still won't acknowledge what you are at heart.
Yeah,
and failure to do so. It doesn't let the product move any forward. The product stays literally in its rule set for them, the product has stayed the same since about 2005.
Yeah. The problem I'm having, and I know people will say, well, that's a double standard because clearly the cons are corporate, but the notion that this entity, WWE, as a promotion,
yeah, they're corporate,
would be sold like you're selling any other business, and it's gonna, I mean, the product is already crap, right?
Bad.
Now imagine you sell it,
I mean,
to Hershey or whoever, I don't know, whoever
PepsiCo.
decides to buy a PepsiCo. I mean, it's not going to get better.
No. Oh man.
But can it get worse? Could it get worse? Is it possible for it to be worse than it is?
Oh yeah. Trust me, it could get way worse.
Yeah.
Once an LA slime ball takes over and is like,
yeah.
I mean, it could go downhill really, really, really fast.
Well, I think what's going to happen is it's going to go downhill because
their poor writing is coming around to haunt them.
Yeah.
In a major way.
Right.
All right. If there was, say, there was, something going awesome with creative right now, I think there'd be a definite easy way to probably sell the company. But I think if anything, the fact that there's almost no good creative going on makes it not very attractive.
Right.
I mean, clearly, all right, Roman's the man, right?
Yeah.
But there is absolutely no end game for when he drops the title.
The only one now looks like is he going to drop it to Brock Lesnar?
I don't think so.
No, that wouldn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's no good story. The only payoff of having a 2-year title reign by a heel is that you're eventually going to have some sort of massive payoff that a babyface is going to come out and win it for the fans, or do something cool. But there's nothing. Roman doesn't even have a good foil.
No.
At all.
But when you have the opportunity, belt versus champion versus champion, no titles on the line, you would think,
pin him. Why not have AE pin him?
Yes. Right.
That would have been so meaningful, and it wouldn't have hurt either of them.
But what you do is you just injured. It wouldn't have hurt Roman. But what you've done is that you've basically taken your WWE champion on your. I don't care if SmackDown and Fox
didn't make him.
Raw is still the flagship. That's the name that most people know.
Raw.
You ruined your champion. Raw. You ruined.
But at the same time, he did look tough.
He looked tough. He took several super punches.
I mean, he got up after a Superman punch. I mean, took spears. Definitely. I mean, I think he comes out looking all right. But I said nothing would have hurt to have him pin Roman.
Nothing at all.
Would have put Big E over massively.
Yes.
And Roman was like, I took a snoozer on that one. Come at me again when the belt's on the line.
When it really matters, right? You can then spin the whole thing. He can continue this kind of tenuous relationship he has with Paul. They screwed that up. That was a major screw up.
There's ways to paint it. Yeah. And the same thing with the Charlotte Becky match. I felt like it's like there's no payoff. You're not paying the fans off in any way whatsoever with this match and with its finish. I'm dirtier player than you. Tried the dirty player. I dirty played you. I don't like that. Come on.
I hate that kind of win. I also hated it's weird to say that I hated the clean finish with Reigns and Biggie just because the ending was wrong. Like creatively, you needed to do the opposite of what you did in order for it. But like you said, there's no payoff for Reigns. What
payoff.
Was it The Rock? Do you bring
Is The Rock going to be the guy that pins him?
The Rock doesn't show up for Survivor Series.
The idea is that you're building a future.
Right.
You're supposed to be. This is where where it's like you should be elevating someone.
Right.
But no, WWE has their thing is like, all right, you're a hot star. You clearly proved yourself as the most over guy in NXT. Let's make you a manager for somebody.
Yeah.
Or job you into non-existence, or make your that's what Vince has done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like sooner or later you got to pick somebody and go with it, and hopefully maybe they become a star.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's like as soon as the guys come up from NXT who prove themselves, I feel like they're as quickly as possible, they're tying their shoelaces together and make them see how fast they can make him look like an idiot.
I'm telling you, he is trying to sabotage, and he's done a great job of sabotaging his son-in-law. Like, hey, this thing that you built, I gave you this as busy work. It wasn't supposed to work. Fans loved it.
It's supposed to work. They had said that they had committed 100% to only having homegrown product. I mean, they made that. They made that.
Yeah.
They professed that was going to be their way from now on. So yeah, I mean, I think the NXT, the Performance Center is supposed to mean a lot. It should mean a great deal.
It would but
Vince doesn't come from a world where that makes sense.
Well, yeah. So for Paul, it made sense. For Stephanie, it made sense. Vince hoped like hell it would fail. And when it didn't, when it started to work, he's like,
holy
well,
crap, these events, oh my God, these NXT pay-per-views are good. Holy shit. An NXT match was match of the year.
Right.
Not that Vince even cares of anything about what wrestling media has to say by any stretch of the means. But I mean, clearly Triple H knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
As far as building people up, look at Kevin Owens. How fucking hot shit Kevin Owens was.
Now his contract's coming up soon, right?
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
I've heard that Johnny Gargano, Steen, or Kevin and Owens are gone ASAP as soon as their contracts are over.
Yeah. So I will say this: knowing that Steen is going to be gone, Kevin Owens, that he's going to be gone, I actually think that creatives are using him. Is it weird to say that? I think they're using him properly right now. Like they're like, hey, we gotta get some mileage out of him.
Well, it's like we know this guy's going to quit. He doesn't even want to be here. Why not walk out of a match?
Yeah. And everyone hates him. No one trusts him. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like,
perfect.
Now,
I know what he's supposed to always be.
And now that he's doing that, you know what you need to do, Vince? You need to back the money. I don't think you could pay him enough money to stay.
Probably not.
These guys
want to wrestle and they want to win titles.
And they
want to be relevant.
And they want to have fun. They're good at what they do. And I will say this about the talent, man. Like, Seth Rollins getting speared by the fan aside, he's one of my favorite performers to watch.
Seth?
In the ring. Seth Rollins. Yeah. I love watching him in the ring.
Yeah.
That guy is.
Shout out on his ring gear. That ring gear on Sunday was insane.
Yeah.
Loved it. The silver and red. It's like sick.
Oh, man.
That's some amazing ring gear.
Yeah. But what would you say, like, when you think about the state of the WWE, and I know we're AEW fans and we haven't made any bones about that. Like, what's the possibility for an upward trajectory? Like, how might the WWE get back into a groove? What would they need to do in order to do that?
I think, like I said, some very highly engaged storylines that pay off will I think definitely engage the fan base more. And I mean, AEW is realizing, like, oh my god, what do you know, guys who want to wrestle, you put in wrestling matches and give, oh my god, fans want to watch this wrestling match, and you let them watch the wrestling match, and oh my god, it was good. I got to see what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily who wins and loses, because we all know in the wrestling business, wins and losses count, but how you win and how you lose is way more important.
Yeah.
So I think that, just giving fans some more things, and then, like I said, sticking with somebody that you're clear. I mean, why the fact that they can't seem to push up any new young talent. I mean, look at who would you? All right, just name me who would you rate the top 5 male performers on WWE? Just name me who would you say the top 5 guys?
Oh, Roman,
right?
Seth. Oh gosh. Even though he's going to be gone, I love Kevin Owens. He's like one of my best in ring performers. Oh gosh.
I mean, Randy Orton.
Oh yeah, RKO. I mean, he's still bringing
RKO.
it.
Who else? AJ Styles.
Yeah, I go AJ Styles.
Okay. All right. So that's a quick time. It's a quick top 5.
Yeah.
Look at all of those guys. You're either talking about the youngest guy is Kevin Owens, who's not really
not young. He's not that young. No,
he's in his early 40s. But then if you look at all the other guys, they're even older, and almost none of them are. I mean, Randy Orton, I guess, is kind of an original homegrown talent.
Yeah.
But he went from like an indie. He barely even.
Yeah.
He trained and he was in Ohio Valley for like a month, and then he was on WWE.
Yeah.
So, but these guys, you're talking about a ton of these are very long. I'm talking about the long-term veterans. Where's the young people? Where is the young talent? Where are the young people that are going to be your next generation of superstars?
They're in the
your next. Who is going to be your next pantheon of WWE champion? Braun Breaker.
Well, Jeff, they're in the AEW. That's where they are.
Well, that's the thing. They have now made it clear on Tony Khan's product. We have top guys. We have the next generation of top guys. And then there's guys maybe you've never even heard of. They could be a top guy. And then you know what? What else? When anybody else from the other company comes and they're a top guy, I'm going to get them too.
Yeah.
It just says, like, I want the best, all elite wrestling.
Yeah.
The best. And he clearly cares about the future and has invested heavily in it.
Yeah.
And I just don't see that on WWE's product.
Yeah. I think
again, the Christian Cages of the world, not getting pinned, not putting anybody over.
I'm gonna reverse.
You should go back to WWE.
I'm gonna reverse. Perfectly. I'm gonna reverse an earlier statement. I actually believe that Vince selling the company is going to be. It's probably the best move, all things considered, that Vince has available.
The Khans are gonna buy it.
Well,
that would be the best.
I mean, Tony. Oh. I mean, his dad, Mr. Khan, could probably pull it out of his wallet.
Dude, they're loaded.
Oh yeah, he could pull that out of his wallet right now and buy it if he so desired.
Where did they get all their money from in the first place?
I don't know,
because they have they're rich before even owning the Jaguars. They were obscenely rich.
Yeah.
I feel like they bought the Jaguars as a something to do project.
Yeah,
and then he starts AEW as a something to do project.
I think all of the sports clubs. I think Fulham. I think the Jags. were things that Mr. Khan purchased to say, here, son, go do something with these things over here.
Clearly the kid knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and absolutely. But I think selling it's gonna be important. I think it's gonna be good for the business, because ultimately, when the product begins to suffer, because they're not going to touch it for a while because they were in the middle of these big contracts, but once the ratings go down, I think they're going to start plucking. They're going to pluck in-ring talent, but they're going to try to start plucking creative talent, and that's got to be the thing that they.
Well, here's the other question. Here's another $1 million question for you, Jerry. WWE sells, say, I don't know, whoever buys it, whatever. They immediately gun for contracts for, Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And all these guys who said, I'll never work for Vince McMahon. All those guys like Kenny, the Bucks, a bunch of hardcore dudes who said, like, I will never work for Vince McMahon.
Right.
Well, Vince McMahon's gone.
Vince is gone.
Here's truck money.
Yeah.
Truckload of money backing up to your house. Do you think that any of those guys flip flop or
100%? Because what you're going to do
here in a few years, we might see a massive, we might see the Monday Night Wars times 20,
MJF was not kidding. And I mean, yes, he's doing a promo, but he's also not kidding. Like,
no,
when his contract is up, there's going to be a bidding war. And I believe that bidding is not going to come. It's not going to come from Vince. It's going to come from whoever's put in charge. And of course, if you buy this company, the ratings aren't doing what you need them to do. You're trying to renew your contract with Peabody and Fox. You're going to start hiring away creative talent from AEW. Like, hey, who's the associate producer for Dynamite? Hey, how would you like to
used to work for WWE?
How would you like to be in charge of Raw?
That's the hilarious part. Most of these guys are ex-WWE people.
Right. And like, now you want to be in charge of Raw, you want to be in charge of SmackDown. And if you are, it's kind of like when a really good football program goes through a rough patch. And you could never have gotten that job.
Poaching the coaches.
Yeah. You couldn't have gotten the job when they were at the top of their game, but
get them now.
You can get that job now and turn it back into. You can turn it into the winner.
That's very true.
Like when Urban Meyer got hired at Ohio State, also head coach at Jacksonville for at least a few more months. Ohio State wasn't Ohio State like it had been. He completely turned it around.
Oh yeah.
And
probably goes back now to some other school after he's disgraced again.
Right. But yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if the new ownership begins to pluck, because where else would you go?
I mean, gots to.
I mean, yeah.
Got to come after it.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you look at, here's the thing. I mean, I saw a very interesting statistic on Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
If they did pay-per-view buys during his championship reign for AEW increased. It was almost over half. It was like 40-something%.
Like when he became champion.
Yeah. The pay-per-view buys have went from their first year of pay-per-view buys and now their second year of pay-per-view buys. Now they have the comparison total. When he was champion, pay-per-view buys are 40% higher. So it's like the guy has legit moves the meter as a champion.
So
I mean, put gold on the guy. I mean, the pay-per-view buys are high.
I mean, so we've spent a lot of time talking about WWE. I mean, when we look at bringing that up and thinking about AEW. So when you have your champion who, like you said, helped moved, he took the company from where it was to where it is now. Yeah. And he's out with injury. We've got a new champion.
His return is going to be huge.
Oh,
because like I said, you can go so many ways. I mean, just depending on when you hit the music, he immediately pops as a babyface or as a heel. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can have him come back with the box. You can have him come back against the box. You can have him come back against Hangman. You can have him come back against other people. You can come back, save Hangman. I mean, there's so many ways you can play his return.
I mean, think about his promo when he's like, there are some things I have to work out and I can't do them here. Now, we all know that what's really happening is that he has to have
surgeries.
And he has to heal. Surgeries. But the way it was presented was
AEW's toxic,
or it's more about him. Like, I think it's more about him. And like, there is some, it was, to me, the implication, and it was like, there's some soul searching that he needs to do. Like, he's going to maybe be going on maybe his version of a hero's journey. And who knows when he comes back, what his view of the wrestling world is, what his view of the AEW landscape will be. Exactly. Right.
That's what I'm saying. He can, like you said, he can come back. You can have him come back in multiple ways. And don't get me wrong, I bet him and Don Callis have been planning this for a year. They've already planned this next year already. So,
I mean, so like, if knowing that this Hangman's Tale has been 2 years in the making, I mean,
he plays long games.
Yeah.
So,
because I do believe that the world, that the AEW world that he comes back to is not going to look anything like what he left. I think the Super Click, the Elite will be in chaos.
Yeah. I mean, clearly there will be a confrontation with Adam Cole at some point in time. And it's going to be that's gonna be a barn burner when it happens. That's a mark that date in wrestling history when these guys have their first match, because I think it's gonna be electric.
But
I think that, like I said, there's just so many ways, and he is so good that most people haven't even seen in the US, unless you watched some really old, watch the Golden Lover stuff. Most people haven't. I mean, and I guess he was kind of facey with Hangman as the tag team, right? They were kind of facey, right?
Yeah.
But previously it's the Golden Lover stuff was really only his face. Usually as a singles wrestler, he usually has been the cleaner and bad guy. We haven't really gotten to see him as a solo good guy before.
Yeah. Here's my prediction is going to be that when he comes back, he's going to be coming back. And I think it's going to be part, I don't recognize this group, talking about the Elite. And there's going to be, I feel like whatever they call the Undisputed Era, whatever they call that faction that will be here probably by the time he gets back, that's going to be one part. But I also think the other part is going to be, I don't know if I recognize this company, because up is going to be down. Like we're seeing Punk and Danielson, who are now kind of like, hey, we might be like everything. I think everything's going to be topsy-turvy, and he's going to be kind of like, I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
I don't recognize it, but
it's Bizarro World.
But I'm back. Kind of like almost like in a John Wick kind of mode. Like, people been asking me, hey, are you back? And I'd say,
the cleaner's back.
And I'd say, yeah, I'm back.
Beat figure, baby.
And what I would imagine,
that's what I'm hoping.
And so what I imagine is, I think you're right. And I think it's going to be whatever is happening, who's feuding with who's what, when he comes back, it's going to be like, holy crap. Okay.
Shit's going to get blown up.
It's going to get blown up. He's going to blow it up.
And that's the thing. When someone, like I said, do not, don't blow, somebody's return, that's what it's got to be for, make a big something out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're doing it. Again, that's just like I feel like how WWE
Now,
is.
let me ask you this about, speaking of returns. So Moxley is out.
Probably gonna need some time. You know,
do you imagine?
I don't see him running back to the ring.
Could you imagine?
Probably
you think Omega will be back before Moxley will be back?
Possibly. I mean, if he legit went to outpatient, inpatient alcohol, it's, he's gonna just need some time,
Yeah.
It takes some time, and you got to take it easy. And going immediately back out on the road, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially this is coming from someone who had a drinking problem. So I think, immediately hitting the road again would probably be very unhealthy.
Yeah.
He needs some downtime at home. Learn how to be. I mean, you have to learn when you kick into sobriety, you have to learn how to be a sober you. Then you need to learn how to live sober home, in a sober life at home. And then you keep expanding the circle out.
Yeah.
You learn how to be sober at work. You learn how to be sober socially, and it just takes time. And immediately hitting the road, I think for him would be a very poor choice.
Yeah. I hope he takes his time.
I think take 4 or 5 months off, and just, he's also got a newborn, and
but
I am a father for a while.
I'm very curious.
You do not need to go jump in a glass match with Nick Gage next week.
I am very curious about how they handle their returns from a scheduling standpoint and from a storytelling standpoint. But if it wouldn't surprise me if he's gone for a year.
That'd be pretty extreme, I think.
But it wouldn't shock me.
He is top. I mean, I think he's got a pretty good guaranteed contract. I don't think he's, but he just loves to wrestle. There's a reason he goes and does GCW and
right
in front of 300 people.
Yeah.
Because he loves to wrestle. I mean, he just likes to wrestle. I mean, he wants to work every day.
Yeah.
And I get that. But I think, just enjoy your life. I mean,
yeah.
What are your beautiful child, beautiful wife, go enjoy your life for just a little while. Wrestling, AEW ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. What's next we're in a new era. We're in the Hangman era. What's the trajectory? What do you see happening? And we talked about how Omega took it to a different level. Now we're in the Hangman era. What do you foresee is it going to continue to go up? Like, what do you?
I think so. I'm curious. The Hangman era is, clearly we already saw the bull horns on the Tesla. It's a new man as the champ, and like I said, I want more. I want more of Hangman. It wasn't just going to be get the title and hunky dory. There's more. The work has just begun. So I'm expecting, I want him to. He needs to come out and fire a goddamn hot promo at Bryan Danielson. And if he doesn't do it, especially after Daniel Bryan probably is going to absolutely beat the holy hell out of Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
And if Hangman doesn't come out there and cut a promo and smack him around, I'm gonna kind of.
Who you're sounding like. You know who you're sounding like right now.
About kidding the walls. Apparently, where are the Hangmans?
You're sounding quite a lot like one Arn Anderson. The way he was tough loving Cody, I feel like that's
gotta
what
get I'm a pair, Cody. Gotta go watch the car. Get the clock. It's time. You gotta go get the clock.
Can you imagine if someone
get the Glock, Hangman.
If someone from the audience, stormed Arn Anderson the way they stormed Seth Rollins, it wouldn't surprise me if Arn got the Glock. I mean, you know, he may have had it on his person. Like it could have turned really, really bad.
Yeah, he's a crazy old man. I wouldn't doubt that he's armed.
But I get your point.
Armed Anderson.
To borrow from Christopher Walken and Will Ferrell, we need more cowboy. Okay, more cowboy.
I want more cowboy.
We need more. We need more cowboy right now.
And I want him to be a badass. Be a badass.
Yeah.
Know?
Yeah. He don't have to be. You could be a badass and not be a heel.
Yes.
You kind of have to show me the cowboy shit. Don't tell me cowboy shit. You're gonna have to show me me cowboy shit.
Austin 316 rewrote the rules.
Yes,
and you get to play by those rules, Hangman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you know that's one of those. I love watching that promo to this day. You know, because it said that, yeah, you may not like me or whatever else, but you know what? I'm gonna whip your ass. And it just says, like, you don't have to be, and everybody clearly loved him. He was the most over guy in the world. And yeah, you can say that. You could be an ass kicking ass whipper. It's allowed. It's been allowed for 20 years. So and do it.
So I will say then that using Danielson as
I feel like this is a good way to put him over.
It's 100% whatever. Yeah, you put him over, and you're going to have an edge with Danielson because he's
not going to let you not have one.
Right.
Like I said, he's going to beat up one of your friends every TV show until you're ready to wrestle him.
Right.
And there's 10 guys on the Dark Order. That's a lot of TV shows to watch your buddies get their faces kicked in.
Yeah, he's going to kick their faces in on Dynamite, on Rampage, on Dark. So Hangman,
before he decides what horrific submission move to put them in.
Yeah. So Hangman, you're going to
see that Tequila Sunrise again.
Oh yeah. So Hangman's got to bring it.
That was one of the most brutal in-ring tweaks I've seen in a while, because Rocky's face was immediately like, oh hell no. Like, oh hell no. Like, you better turn this off right now.
Yeah.
This is over now. Let me out of this thing. That was great. That was a really good match, wasn't it?
Yeah. So but I don't know if we've talked about this. I missed pretty much the first year of AEW. So I know that a lot of people love Hangman, and I don't have a problem with Hangman. I'm just going to put it out there, guys. I am not the biggest Hangman fan.
I'm not either. I'm not a Hangman mark.
Yeah, I respect him. I respect the story. I respect what Tony had a vision for the first 2 years. I love that it appears to have flawlessly executed. Complete. Yes. Yeah. But I saw
phase 2.
I saw what I got from Kenny Omega, and I loved it. And I'm not expecting that from Hangman, but I'm expecting him to be uniquely him. And whatever this Hangman era looks like, it needs to be something that propels from, the elite, Kenny Omega, kind of era. Like, I need you to ascend and take the company with you. Yeah.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
And I think that's of course the goal. I don't think anybody comes in saying like, oh shit, I'm going to be a terrible champion.
Yeah.
And don't be wrong. If anybody might do that, it could be the high anxiety cowboy himself. But I want to see just show us that you're taking it to another level, and you're clearly putting us the maximum effort to the next level. And give us great matches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's more than capable of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, just show me you're a badass.
Yeah.
You know? Shut Bryan Danielson up.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. You need to do it convincingly. When
is that going to happen? When's the
I'm thinking they're I mean, clearly they don't have a pay-per-view for till next year. I'm thinking it's gonna be this battle, this whatever thing in December. Whatever this event in December is.
Wow.
So I mean, because clearly the New Japan door is open right now. Wondering if the Impact door will open again too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Really want to. I would highly recommend anybody peek at the Battle in the Valley. There were some amazing matches on that pay-per-view. If anybody just wants to watch random matches, there's some really, really, really good ones.
Yeah. What's Jungle Boy? What do you see for him?
The Jungle Boy, I mean, frankly, like I said, if my pillars theory is true, we're gonna get an eventual heel turn. And I would say kiss those luscious locks goodbye, ladies. If he goes bad guy, cut the hair off, man. I think that'd be just that would be a full vicious heel turn, but other than that, like I said, what's the continue where does it, if he's going to stay with Christian and keep hanging with Christian, what the hell are they going to keep doing? Concertoing people? I thought they were good guys.
But I think so. I think that's the question. I think what we're going to start seeing is the blurring of a lot of these lines.
The good guys are bad guys. The bad guys are good guys.
Yeah.
I like it. Always like that. That's fun.
The guy that I'm really curious about, and I'm sorry for doing this one by one, because obviously, like, I'm interested in Darby. Like, I kind of want to know what they're going to do with Darby. I mean, like you said,
again, I've stated that I think that he needs help, and I don't know if Sting is the help. Because Darby's, Sting was, even though he's the dark persona now, rewind to the beginning of the guy's career, he's prototype. It's literally a prototype. 6'3", 260, all muscle. He's like literally a prototype wrestler.
Right.
Darby is clearly not.
Right.
Small, daredevil guy. And I don't think getting a guy known for being quiet as his backup or his help is,
yeah.
When I have a guy who's awesome talker. Not that Sting is not an awesome talker, but he's old, and what happens when you get old wrestlers? Microphones.
Yeah.
They say absolutely crazy, weird shit. So he needs someone of his age, helping him with the mic, I think. Or he takes massive steps forward with the mic game.
Yeah.
Which his mic game is very poor.
Yeah.
Sorry, Darby.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you're a piece of shit and whatever.
Well,
those are his like two moves.
Well, with the pillars, MJF obviously
will clearly be the mouthpiece.
But Sammy just drips with charisma. Sammy has grown on me. I love Sammy's in-ring ability. Yeah,
it's incredible. I am not a huge fan of his mic skills.
I think he's got the potential there. Jungle
known
Boy and
for
Darby
holding up cards during commercial breaks.
Oh yeah. Jungle Boy and Darby have more, a ways to go on the charisma standpoint. And I could see, there's a part of me that's like, do we somehow get Darby and Jungle Boy together to click up first?
Darby and Jungle Boy will be your tag team champs.
To get out from underneath Christian and Sting. And
you ditch these old guys and ditch the dinosaur.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, you know what? And that's part of the battle. Like, hey, those two guys take
the dinosaur with you, and he really does become Kane.
Yeah.
There you go. Take the dinosaur with you.
Yeah. Or you
Hellbound Express.
You have Lucha and Luchasaurus and Christian, and you go up against half of the pillars, and that's how they declare their independence from kind of the I don't know. Like, I think up is going to be down when Omega comes back, and who knows who else is going to be coming over from
again, Steen probably definitely coming. Johnny Gargano probably definitely coming. Again, another guy that just get all the talent in the world, but just not able to push Vince's buttons in any way.
Keith Lee, baby.
Shit.
We got to get
right.
Keith Lee,
sorry,
right?
Johnny, you're under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
That means you're immediately never heavyweight champ material.
Right. Yeah, we got to get Keith Lee over here. We got to get Keith.
Bearcat?
The Bearcat. 8 days after he debuted as the Bearcat, he was released from his
sayonara. See you later, buddy. Best future endeavors, my friend. So awful. Happy Thanksgiving, Bearcat.
I think the state of wrestling, it's kind of we're at a tipping point. I feel like and
society is at a tipping point, Jerry.
Oh man. Whew, brother, tell me about it.
Another day, another time.
Another day. Yeah. But
I feel not on a wrestling podcast. No. Man. I thought this was a wrestling show.
This is where wrestling is supposed to be where we escape. But yeah, I feel good about the future. I feel good about the future.
I think so.
Of wrestling.
I feel it's at a good place. And whether or not you're a WWE fan, AEW fan, whether you like the smaller shows, Impact, NWA, New Japan, they're all awesome. A lot of these places, a lot of these promotions are brimming with talent, and it shows.
Yeah,
and they put on, if you like wrestling, watch them. You will enjoy them. If it's just about spectacle and 20-minute entrances and no stories, there's a channel for you to watch.
Well, there was a story, Jeff, and it was about the stolen $100 million Cleopatra egg that Austin Theory, which I don't understand how they're trying to put this kid over, giving him title matches. He's pretty
terrible. Watched him in that Survivor Series match. He looked lost as a goat.
Well, and so look, think about what you're doing to Big E, what you're doing to your champion. You have him lose a match that if you were thinking long game, he should have won. Then the next night, you put him in the ring against Austin Theory. I mean, why don't you just pee on his leg and tell him that it's raining, for fuck's sake? Right? I mean, what are you doing, What are you doing? Is that how you treat a champion?
Not making any sense is what they're doing, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, but this is the same company that had Bianca Belair lose to Big Time Bex in 26 seconds. So, what I mean,
shout out for EST being the sole survivor on the Raw team.
Can I just that was so lame how Sasha got counted out. I'm like, come on. I mean, guys, come on. I mean, I'm just so tired of the just bad creative vision.
DQs and countouts, and oh my god, there's just other ways to tell wrestling stories.
Was Alexa Bliss on Survivor? I haven't seen all. I'm gonna at some point go back and watch all of Survivor Series. Was she?
I don't remember.
I just felt that the
she hasn't been on TV since she lost to Charlotte.
No, she hasn't. And she's still, is she on Raw or did she go to Smack? I don't even remember anymore.
I don't know. I don't know if they even mentioned it.
I need to go back and find the results. I should probably do some of this stuff, stuff they call research.
Wrestling journalism. We're supposed to be doing
before I wax poetic about it. But yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. If you're a wrestling fan, find the promotion, including the one that's all about ring entrances and unclean finishes and nonsensical, matchups. If that's your thing, just watch it
and enjoy it.
And enjoy it, man. And
they do some good stuff.
Yeah,
not lots, but they do some good stuff. And every now and then, they just accidentally give you a freaking good match.
Well,
almost like they're kicking and screaming like they don't want you to have a good match, but they do give you a good one every now and then.
I mean, the WWE, we respect the WWE in the same way that you respect your drunk uncle, and he shows up at Easter or Thanksgiving unannounced. You respect your drunk uncle. You listen to it, but you also keep your distance a little bit. And that's kind of how I am. I watch Survivor Series out of respect for what that has meant to me as a wrestling fan, in the past.
Well, watch they did replay 2018 when Ziggler came back down, from 4-1 down or whatever to come back and win.
Yeah.
It shows that they can do it. There is good stuff that can be done. It's like
it sure can.
Pretty sure done. Almost every guy that was in that match. Well, no, Brody's passed, of course, but almost everybody else in that match was still around. It shows you can do this.
It can be done.
Can be done.
I have hope as much as we. So here's the thing.
I like the big brand.
I think that's part of it. And so part of what, is like part of why we're so hard on WWE, because for me at the heart is disappointment and love. Yes. Like I want it to be great. And
they just own the two best events in wrestling.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. Are like are two of the pillars of the wrestling world.
100%.
And the Royal Rumble match is the best gimmick match there is. Period. And and then WrestleMania is just like everybody knows WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They know this is the biggest show of the year. Like
WrestleMania,
everybody knows this is it.
WrestleMania is Easter service. It's just, it doesn't matter if you haven't been all year. WrestleMania,
you're a wrestling fan.
It's required. It's the thing you do.
Oh, Jerry,
you just do it. Oh, did I freeze?
Just a tick.
It's probably because of the sacrilege. Excited. How dare you call? How the wrestling gods are like? How dare you compare WrestleMania
Easter and wrestling? Yeah. The rising Christ comparing to WrestleMania. What's wrong with you?
But they're doing two parts. I was going to ask you off camera, but now that we're talking about it,
I don't like that. It's to be one night.
It needs to be one night.
Don't milk it.
Do you want to go?
It cheapens the first night.
Do you want to go?
This is not a music festival.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go? Do you want to go?
WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Where's it at this year?
Jerry Dome, baby. Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Dallas. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'd rather spend money on travel to go to an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No.
But then again, the Royal Rumble is in our
Rumble's in St. Louis, right?
Back in St. Louis.
See,
coming up next month, man. I'm broke as shit.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody out there in the wrestling world.
We need sponsors because we broke.
Send those super chats.
Yes. Super chats. Hey, Athletic Brewing Company, we're here. You don't have a wrestling podcast that I'm aware of that you're sponsoring, so
right,
we are available.
My fine friends at Dickie's Barbecue.
All of our shameless, non-paid
folks at Adidas.
Who made this?
What else do I have sitting around here that we can try to hawk? Some wrestling money. But no, guys, seriously. Do subscribe. Hit the V trigger on the subscribe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Elbow drop the like.
Yeah.
Notifications, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll let you know. And please leave some comments. Talk to us.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want us to talk about. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Ask us about wrestlers and who you like, and tell us who you like, and we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love it. Goofy about it. I like wrestling.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, y'all. Until we catch you on the flip side, we got great wrestling this week.
Marked for life, baby.
Deuces,
we'll see you on the flip side.
Peace.